Another snowy day in Canada. You know that saying, when life gives you lemons, make a YouTube video. Hello YouTubes. Today I'm going to do two updated reviews. One on the SnoJo, obviously, I need to get rid of this lovely snow, or relocate it at least. The other is on my little Campark action cam. I have decided that there's a few settings that you need to change between depending on what you're filming. So I'll go through that. But the first thing I want to try is the good old time lapse. So I'll do a time lapse while I'm clearing the snow. That makes sense. Kill two birds with one stone. And then I'll get to the other setting, which is really important for if you're using your camera as a dash cam or just using it for footage as you're driving about. It's quite important. So as I say, I'll talk about that later. But first, let's set up the SnoJo 22-inch electric snow thrower with a cord, and we'll get that driveway cleared. Okay, let's go. Well, as you can see, I'm kind of fighting a losing battle here. We've got blowing snow and just normal down the way snow, and it's pretty much filling what I'm clearing. But it's important to clear it before it gets too heavy, because although the SnoJo is really good, it doesn't deal well with really deep snow. I mean, it still shifts up to like 18 inches as we found out in the last video, but there's no point giving it more work than it needs to. It's really easy to clear the fresh stuff up to about 8 inches, no problem at all. But beyond that, you're just pushing it too far. However, you got to see the time lapse. Hopefully that's okay. I'll be checking that later. I think it's okay. That time lapse is set to 1 second intervals. Any more than that would be for like sunsets and all that kind of thing. But if it was 5 seconds intervals, it would be useless for this sort of thing that I'm doing. Right, let me get on to the other action cam setting, okay? And let me get out of this snow. Cheers. Right, on the last action cam review video, I told you that my favourite setting was 2.7K at 30 frames per second with image stabilization on. However, you don't need image stabilization on if you've attached your action cam to something solid, like a car windscreen. If you're walking about, with your camera in your hand or anywhere that there's going to be movement, then yeah, image stabilization is on. But as I said in the previous video, you can't record at 4K with the image stabilization on for this camera. Okay, not this camera, this is actually, you're watching this on my iPhone, just to be clear. So I discovered that if you change your setting to 1080p, you can move it up to 60 frames per second. And as I say, you don't need the image stabilization on for that. Now I'm going to show you a clip of the before video, which was set to 2.7K, image stabilization on, 30 frames per second. So that's what's running now. So it's occurred to me that, yeah, the image is nice, but you can probably see that it's not exactly perfectly smooth. Now, not everyone is watching on a huge 4K TV. In fact, most people will be watching your videos on a handheld device, a phone, iPad, whatever. You don't actually need 4K. So my new favorite mode for recording in the car, in this case it was the truck and this next clip, I've reduced it to 1080p, 60 frames per second, image stabilization off. So have a look at this and you'll see the difference. Overall, the image quality isn't that much different. However, you can see how much smoother it is when you're moving along. And I think that is far more important than having a crystal clear, high dynamically contrasted video. Do you know what I mean? As I said before, if your audience is watching it on a mobile phone, they don't need 4K. So that's two settings. One setting for probably walking about would be the 2.7K 30 frames per second image stabilization on, and for driving about, and maybe I'll be attaching this, not this, the action cam. I'll be attaching that camera to the outside of vehicles when I'm going to be doing future videos. There's lots of settings to get through, but don't be stuck in just one setting. You'll regret it, trust me. Another mode that I found out about was car mode. I thought car mode meant was when you were attaching it to the car and it would smooth it out or something, but no, car mode just means if you're using your action cam as a dash cam, okay? So presumably, the instructions don't tell this, but presumably it means that if you've got your camera plugged into power, when you turn your ignition on, it will automatically start up like a dash cam would, and presumably it will loop it every 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. There's another setting for how often you want it to loop, which means it will record like a whole day's driving, and when it runs out of space, it will overwrite the first part that you recorded. So remember, if you want to save a certain part, you'll need to click something to save that so that it doesn't write over it. So that's car mode. It's not like automotive videoing mode, right? It's dash cam mode. It should just say that. Right, that's my little update for now. SnoJo's still working great. I do have to constantly tighten bolts, the handle bolt things and the little screw that does the turny thing. You know what I'm talking about if you get one, because there's so much vibration. Anything that screws in is going to loosen off. It takes a lot of punishment. I mean, I'm ploughing through like really big chunks of snow, so that's okay, I can deal with that. It's not broken, that's a good thing. As long as it gets me through this winter, I'll be happy. Action camera, still really happy with that. For the money, honestly, you can't beat it. I've got a link to both the action cam and a SnoJo in the description below if you're interested in getting one. By all means, check out the reviews on both before you purchase one. But this is a real life review I'm giving you, and if there's anything I don't like about it, trust me, I'll tell you. But so far, both items have been pretty great for the money. Obviously, you can spend more money and get even better, but I'm happy with what I've got. Right, thanks for watching, everyone. I will get back to work. I don't know why I keep lying to you. Once it gets warmer, I'll get back to working my project cars. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.